Excuse me. That's better. Now I can see myself. See what I'm recording. Hello gainers, I'm Ralphie and welcome to my channel called Fitter Philosophy, and today I'm going to talk about plastic, and in particular, and to put it in context, one of my little voluntary things that I just like to do because it's a good thing to do is clear up a beach on the island. It's a small beach, so there's no point in a whole team of people descending on it to clean it up. It just needs once a month. You'll get half a bag of rubbish which is mainly floated in on the tide. Occasionally you get items that are left behind by humans who are mainly out walking their dogs, I have to say. But I want to just show you what you get off a beach that's on the Irish Sea in the Northern Hemisphere. And I'm going to start with the biggest item, which is a sheet of plastic. Looks like PVC, industrial use, and being made of plastic, it doesn't biodegrade, but over time, with the action of tide and hitting surfaces, wear and tear, it will start to crumble, it will start to break up. Here's another piece of plastic, clearly off a vehicle, and a piece of plastic which used to be somebody's shoe, now discarded. Yeah, let me bring this a little bit closer. That's better. You see, the thing about aluminium eventually will break down. Aluminium will oxidize. So you've got tin cans which are well battered by the tide, a tin of mackerel which has been battered by the tide. Being metal, they will break down. Here's another, this is a gas canister that's been in the sea for quite some time. You can see there's oxidization, a lot of bashes and bumps on it, and literally in about 100 years that'll be gone. However, there's certain items that simply don't oxidize. Nature doesn't have a way of breaking them down. Here's an example, a discarded plastic rubber glove, plastic drinks bottle, and the dog walkers. They've left the dog toys. Oh, still got a little water in it. You can tell that the dogs have been at it because it's well chewed. And another thing you get is stuff that's been discarded from fishing boats. Here's a very good example. Some nylon rope, a heavy duty plastic bag for holding fish. We get anything else in here? Yeah, a plastic, looks like a lobster pot hook with twine on it. You get a lot of twine. A lot of nylon twine gets discarded because the boats just cut the twine with a Stanley knife or something, and the little bits fall into the water as they're putting out fishing nets or lobster pots or whatever. And apart from the fact that it's quite therapeutic to pick all this stuff and actually put it in a bin, my domestic bin where it will go away is landfill. Because whereas aluminium can be recycled and is profitable recycled, the thing about plastic is there's no profit in recycling. And this idea that you can put out of your mind when you put something in a recycle bin and believe that it's going to be recycled, don't kid yourself. It's highly likely it's not the case. There's plenty of evidence for it. Look for it online. And in fact, in some cases, junk from Western countries is shipped en masse in ships to poor countries to be sorted out, and ends up, they just pour it into the local river. It goes out into the oceans, and there what happens, the plastics in particular, and this is where I'm going to concentrate on now. There's plastics in shoes, there's plastics in clothes, there's plastics in cosmetics, there's plastics in paints. Plastics are hugely integrated to modern consuming society globally. And this is creating a problem which has only recently been identified by scientists. And that is that over time, and it's happened over 50 years, really, you could say 40 years even, it's happening very, very quickly. What's happening is all the plastic which is discarded starts to break into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces. So you now have scientific studies which have examined rainwater, pure river water up in mountains, and sand, even ice, on the most remote parts of the planet. And they're discovering microparticles of plastic. Did you know that plastic is so light in its microplastic form that literally it's plastic dust? That's the best way of putting it. Fine plastic dust is being taken up in water evaporation, carried in water, evaporating over off the oceans, and is forming in rain clouds. Rain clouds contain plastic. Yeah, those white fluffy things above us contain plastic. Then it falls onto the land all around the world as fine powdered plastic. We digest it in the water, in what we consume. We take in plastics, which becomes part, because it's trapped in living human tissue as an inert, unliving form of matter. This is one reason why males in particular are being effectively chemically castrated due to the estrogen generating presence of these plastics. This is why women have estrogen imbalances, because the natural balance of estrogen, which is the primary female hormone, is being disrupted by the presence of these microplastic particles. What happens next, apart from this unexpected ambient toxicity? And this is part of transhumanism, by the way. Look it up, seriously. But put your seatbelt on first before you go on that journey. What will happen is microplastics will break down even further over time, probably in the next 20 years, into nanoplastics. And nanoplastics will in fact be like plastic gas, permeating in liquids and in solids and throughout the planet as the entire planet starts to plasticize in growing concentration due to the overconsumption of plastics, overuse of plastics, and the waste of them. What can we do about this? Well, there is a solution. Mother Nature always provides a solution, and that solution is in fungi. There are mushrooms that actually eat plastic, in the same way as there are fungi that actually eat oil slicks, but you don't hear so much about that. And the second solution is each and every living human being who wants to be alive and be recognised for being alive needs to cut down on the consumption of plastics dramatically. I'm Ralphie. Whoop, I've got a message. I'm going to do a little bit more of plastic picking, but before I go, I'm going to get this out of the way. No, I'll tell you what, I'll leave all this in shot, and you can see it in context to this beautiful, natural, pristine environment behind me. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, click subscribe, click the likey, bang the bell if there is one still, And thank you for joining me. I hope you found this interesting. I'm Ralphie. Bye bye. Ouch, ouch, ouch.